All right, it feels like May is blooming, so welcome to your May numerology for 2024. I'm Jennifer, and welcome to your readings at the round table. All right, so I'm going to do a quick overview of the astrology. Some of you have had questions about this. I go into more detail about the astrology for the month, especially the 2 weeks surrounding the new moon and the full moon, when I do the zodiac readings for the new moon and the full moon. So if you want more details from me, make sure that you check out your zodiac readings, where I do have an intro that covers like all the stuff that's going on around that new moon or full moon. Okay? All right, so we're kicking off May with Pluto going retrograde on May 2nd. Yeah, so Pluto is essentially kicking off this retrograde season, if you want to call that. I don't count Mercury in when I say retrograde season, because Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year. Not once a year, not once every 2 years. Mercury goes retrograde a lot, so I don't count that. Pluto is going retrograde until October the 11th. And here's something fun. Pluto is going to retrograde back into Capricorn starting on September 1st. So that's going to be fun for all of us that have a lot of Capricorn in our charts. Yeah. On May the 4th, it's just a little side note for me. May the 4th be with you. Huge Star Wars fan. I can't help it. I'm a geek. On the 7th, we have a new moon in Taurus. It hits its peak at 11:22 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then we have on the 15th, Mercury moves into Taurus. On the 20th, the sun moves into Gemini. So we're opening up Gemini season. Love that. On the 23rd, we have the full moon in Sagittarius, which hits its peak at 9:53 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On the same day, we have Venus moving into Gemini. This is a good place for Venus. The place that Venus really doesn't like to be is Virgo. I mean, who can blame her? I'm a Virgo, so yeah, I get that. All right, then on the 25th, we are wrapping up the month with Jupiter moving into Gemini. Now, this is not a favorite place of Jupiter because Jupiter does rule Sagittarius. So this is not the favorite place for Jupiter. The fall position for Jupiter is actually Capricorn, but we're gonna have Jupiter in Gemini for the next year. Jupiter changes signs every 12 to 13 months. So Jupiter has camped out in Taurus a long time now. So we're going to sort of jump into a new wave of interest and new freshness here. And I am going to go into this in greater detail when I do the full moon and Sagittarius readings for the zodiac signs. So for May, we are ending the month with 3 planets in air plus Sun and South Node. So we've got Jupiter, Venus, and the Sun in Gemini. We have South Node in Libra, and we have Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. Then we have 2 planets in water, which is Saturn and Neptune, both in Pisces, and Neptune rules Pisces. I just always like to point this out. Then we have 2 planets in Earth, which is Uranus and Mercury. And then we have 1 planet in fire and plus North Node. And both are in Aries. Mars and North Node are in Aries right now. And Mars loves being in Aries because Mars rules Aries. Oh, I know. It's great. I really think that May is going to be a wonderful step in to right before we get to that summer energy. You know, it's like the end of spring, but we're stepping into summer. I think this is going to be a wonderful time for it. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to talk to you more about this Pluto retrograde and Jupiter moving into Gemini. But again, make sure you check out your zodiac readings from me if you want to hear this information from me. If you don't, that's okay. There's a million of us on YouTube, so check them out. All right, so I am going to be pulling from 2 card decks today, the usual Goddess Guidance Oracle deck and the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading cards. These are my favorites for numerology. So let's see what your life path number is for the next month, for all of May. Hello, Life Path 3, May. May is going to be revisiting last year a little bit for you, Life Path 3, and let me tell you why, because it's a 7-month for you. Now, some people go, oh my gosh, I love it. 7 is such a spiritual number. It is, because it's all about spiritual expansion. It's all about spiritual connection. It's about increasing your knowledge, your metaphysical, your spiritual knowledge. But it's also a time of looking for peace, and it's a time of discovery and philosophy. It's a time of contemplation and introspection. Now, a lot of people have a hard time with that spiritual expansion, because you get into the time of spiritual expansion and some people go off the rails with it. I know. So again, look at 2023. How did that fare for you, Life Path 3? It's not a bad number. It's actually really great. If you take your time and you dive into stuff and you really open yourself up to like the spiritual connection to each other, to the universe, to nature, just opening yourself up to that, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. It really is. The spiritual study and expansion is a wonderful thing because it can help you to see how much more there is out there than what we are focused on every day. You know, it's a wonderful time of insight. I'll tell you that. This is a great time for you to really have faith in yourself and trust your own judgment. And again, I see a lot of people that have a hard time trusting themselves, especially after, you know, maybe things have gone sideways, but it's not always like our choices. I mean, we have choices, but it's not always our choices that affect us. Our choices affect other people, their choices affect us. So sometimes when things go sideways or go off the rails, Life Path 3, it's not necessarily your fault. However, how you deal with it, how you work through it is you. How you react to it is you. So this is an important thing, and this could be a great time for you to assess, to discover a new way of reacting to stuff, to have, again, that introspection, that contemplation, and I love it. I love it. So the mantra of the 7 here at Life Path 3 is, I am graceful spirit, finding insight, beauty, and peace around me. That's a great way to handle it. It really is. The shadow side of the 7 is self-imposed isolation, self-doubt, insecurity, and running from problems and decisions. Now, that may not sound like it's a huge deal or a big deal, but honestly, when it's coupled with your shadow side, which can be judging of the self and others too harshly, because when we start judging ourselves too harshly, it can overflow into other people, right? Unable to speak your truth or communicate openly because you're a communicator. I mean, that's what you do, 3. Being pessimistic or exaggerating, and all of that leads to being very gossipy. Now, those shadow effects coupled with running from problems and decisions, insecurities, self-doubt, it doesn't gel well. So what we need to do during this month for you, Life Path 3, is really open yourself up. Look for a new way of handling, of dealing with, of like reacting to some of the stuff that's coming into your life. Expand yourself and just see that there's so much more out there than just what we see every day, right? I mean, there really is. Expand yourself spiritually. Open yourself up and just trust your insight and trust your judgment. I love it. This is a really great month. It is. But so many people are just like, oh my gosh, it's the 7 months. This is spiritual month. This is going to be easy. Not easy, but worth it. Yeah. Okay, the lesson of the 7 here, Life Path 3, is making choices without retreating from others and finding the answers within yourself and trusting them. I love it. I love it. And remember your mantra, I am creativity, vibrant expression, sharing my authentic voice freely, because you are all about the communication. And this is just finding another way to maybe communicate with spirit, or another way of reacting. And I think that that's a huge part of who you are too, is expression. There's no wrong way to self-express, right? And you know that of all people, because self-expression with the 3 is art, writing, music, speaking. Yeah, but it's expression and being authentic with it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, what an awesome time. I know the shadow of Mercury retrograde is going to be over. It's fantastic. Love it. Okay, so there were some questions about me reading from the book for the crystal reading cards, and that's fine. I've said this on many videos. I'm just going to reiterate it. The only books that I read from with when it comes to oracle cards or even tarot cards is the Healing Oracle Crystal Reading Cards and Moonology, because there's just so much information in the book that's not on the card, and I'm not going to shortchange anybody with all that wonderful information. So I will continue to read from the book, and I don't think it's cheating. Just FYI. Ooh, I can never say this right, but I think it's Skemet. Be strong. Sekhmet? Maybe I'm saying it. I don't know. You get the gist, though. Ooh, the Awakening Crystal, emotional healing. Now, that is very, very appropriate for a 7-month. Yeah. Okay, let's start with the Be Strong. I'm not going to try to say the name again because I will butcher it. Oh, but it's a beautiful card. Be strong. You are stronger than you think you are, and your strength assures a happy outcome. And the Awakening Crystal is one of the Master Teacher cards, and the Awakening Crystal is the formation. I think it's the formation. No, it's clear to smoky quartz. Okay. All right, the Awakening Crystal, emotional healing. The Awakening Crystal is one of the most powerful crystals on the planet, and it is classified as one of the teacher crystals. It was put on the earth to assist humanity in healing and transforming the emotional body. It holds within it the secrets to healing the emotional body on a massive scale, working with group consciousness and assisting the planet in bringing oneness to our world community. Wow. This is a long one. Okay. This powerful medicine encourages you to let go of all dysfunctional emotions and see the truth in the situation. It assists in healing all types of addictions, inviting you to look deep within your own soul for awakening. Connecting to the Awakening Crystal allows you to clearly understand your emotional wounds and gain a sense of emotional intelligence and well-being. It amplifies buried emotions and allows them to surface while supporting and holding you as you delve deep into the wound. As your heart opens and self-love is experienced, your awareness expands to receive the gift from such a challenge. Wow, that is a challenge. Once these emotions are brought into balance, you feel less addiction, depression, anxiety, and the separation in your life. Wow, this is really an awesome one. Deep clearing and healing on an emotional level, releasing and transforming grief, fear, and trauma, understanding your own shadow side, and overcoming addictions. This is amazing. Truly. I love it. I love it. All right, Life Path 3, I hope May is just a really incredible and awesome month for you. I hope it's wonderful. Don't forget to check out your new moon and full moon readings here at Readings at the Round Table, where I will go more into detail about some of the astrological stuff that I covered in the overview. So, thank you again for joining me today. Until we see each other again, Life Path 3, get out there and make your magic. Bye.